Hello and welcome all. Today we are going to be playing some Catacomb Kids. It's personally one of my favorite games, and despite being in early access, I still feel like it has a lot of promise and charm that I will hopefully be able to show off today. If you are new and you have not heard of this game, I implore you to check it out and watch the gameplay, and if you feel like it's something you will enjoy, then I recommend getting it. I am going to try and explain some of the mechanics as I play here, so if it is something you are interested in picking up or buying, I would highly recommend you continue to watch. So first off, we have our four classes here. We have Tinker, which basically the very bottom we will see their special ability on the bottom left side, and that is very unique to the class specifically. So we'll start with the Bully, which can taunt nearby enemies, and when you do so, you gain power orbs, which basically allow you to crit based off of, for a certain amount of hits, based on the amount of enemies that you've taunted. Wander has Instinct, which allows them to press it once to see the layout of areas around them, even if you cannot visually see that area because of Fog of War. You have the Poet, which allows them to wield spellbooks as weapons, and they also start with a bunch of other little, very nice passives. And then we have the Tinker, which is a very cool class that comes with a little robot pet that you can customize their AI behaviors with, and they themselves have a lot of interesting and cool passives. I think we will start with the Bully, and I will explain some of the other parts of the things here. They can start with a weapon skill or a magic weapon, and a lot of the other ones have very similar things here, where they start with a specific thing and also get another thing, or can get another thing as a different option. So we will start with the Bully. They start with strength being very high. They're the only class that starts with 1 min damage, which is very, very good. And they have defense and magic, which are dump stats, and when you grab an Orb of Leveling, which is a very it's a very rudimentary mechanic of this game, that a Orb of Leveling will spawn every floor in most cases, and when you grab that Orb of Leveling, you can level up any of the major attributes in the game. But one of the attributes that you are deficient in will always not be shown. So it'll alternate every other orb between defense or magic, in the case of the Bully here. So, on this menu, you have a bunch of different kids. I'll just re-roll a bunch so it looks more like what it would look like when you first boot up the game. And you have the option of picking all of these different kids for a run. They all have different traits and negatives and bonuses. I'll basically try to show what some of those are. So, for example, we have Daniel William here, who is good with hammers, meaning they start with the first weapon skill in hammers. They're poised, which means they're much less likely they're basically immune to knockback, and they can also use items faster. You have Hate Swords, which means they will not use swords at all. You cannot pick them up. When you pick them up, instead of equipping them, you kind of hold them in your hand as an item that you can throw, which is pretty fun. And then they also have Unstable Caster, which means any spells they cast will always be an unstable variant, which is normally a variant where if you don't have enough energy to cast this, which is that bar below their health, then it will be unstable and it will have an adverse effect in most cases, but not all. Some of them have different effects or strange things, or none at all in some cases. Here we have this kid who is defensive, starts with a magical weapon, and defensive means they start with a shield. They're breath holders, so it means when it comes to poisonous clouds or water, they will be able to hold their breath longer in it. This kid hates spears, also defensive. think I'll probably go with this kid because this is a very cool kid. I like having high luck, and I also like some of the other things they have. Yeah, let's start with this kid. So, we will start our run, and I will try to show this game off as best I can. Now that I have explained some of the traits already, and the basic overview. So this is our basic ability. We taunted that goo there. They gain a little bit of haste and move faster when that happens, so there is a slight downside to using this ability, and it's not always the best thing to use. When I say slight, that's being generous in Taunt's favor. Sometimes it can be a bad move to use it, but generally using it around the corner to get an enemy's attention and bring them to a favorable position for you can be very good. Very, very beneficial. So, we are going to stomp the slime to death, or goo to death, and move on.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I like this jacket, so I'm going to grab this jacket. It has heat, so we have a luck-based chance to basically set enemies ablaze that are around us after a certain amount of time. It is only a chance, though. Oh, there's a lot of grumbles.
On your feet.
Okay, I think I showed off strength there, or bully there pretty well. Now, it was very important there that before I hit the ground, I managed to taunt so that they weren't beating me up while I was taunting. Because taunting does leave you vulnerable here. You can animation cancel it with a roll, but we can't roll when you have a shield. But that ended up being quite good. So, we're going to eat these corpses, which will hopefully let us gain a meal buff for doing so. And I will basically show and explain what that meal buff is in a bit. I should explain that a little bit more. So basically, in the far bottom left, every time we eat something, something fills up the lowest point that isn't filled up in that meal queue there. It has 5 pips. 3 are filled with grumbles right now. When we finish that, depending on what we eat and what order we eat some things, we can get a meal buff. The one for grumbles, for example, will give us the butcher, which will give us healing on whenever we eat, basically a meat-based thing, and on top of that, it will also, sorry, one moment, thinking about platforming, it will also make our chance to sever limbs higher as well, which can be useful sometimes. Especially because those limbs count as meat-based items as well. If you are new and you are wondering, how I might evade these traps or specific things to look out for example, here's a trap that's pretty easy to get. Once you see this sort of structure, especially on a stairwell, you can understand that there is if you look very closely, a string here that, when broken, will bring down a boulder, which in this case was actually to our advantage because it killed that grumble for us. We will take their amulet, but we cannot identify it because in order to identify what an amulet is, you need to have a minimum intel of at least 3, which we do not have. Basically just comparing hammers here and wondering if I want to take this amulet through or if I want to keep the shield. Shields are interesting. They stop you from rolling, so not a lot of people like them, but personally I don't mind them too much because they tend to add a benefit that I think is fairly worth it for the most part. We've explored the entirety of this floor, but I want to check to see if there's anything on these grumbles, equipment-wise, that would allow us to identify what this is. And there is. So this runic rapier will give us one more intel and allow us to identify this over time. So if we wait long enough on this level, we should be able to identify this. Okay, I don't think there was anything there. So one of the first things we're going to do here is we are going to now use this orb, and I will explain some of the stats. So you have strength, which increases our max power, or our max attack power. We have attack speed and movement speed on speed. We have identifying items, see further, and energy regen on intelligence, and crit frequency on luck, and then finally damage reduction on defense. Personally, I like going speed on bully a lot of the time. Now, when you go into a stat, any of these stats, for that matter, you have the option of picking 2 of the boons or further increasing the stats, but generally the better idea is to go for the boons because they are very strong. There is, on speed, we have the option of picking these 2, which is free run and stampede. Stampede allows us to trample enemies and burst through doors while sprinting. If we have boots, it's based off basically stomp damage, and when we sprint through enemies, if we have boots, which gives us 1 stomp damage as well as shoes, we will be able to stomp on enemies and deal a certain amount of damage to them. I'm not sure if shoes allow you to sprint through enemies and damage them, but boots definitely do. We also can take free run, which allows us to sprint up walls and auto evade traps while sprinting, which is what I'm going to take here.
Strange.
It's a very fun one. I'll basically show that off while I continue to talk about some of the stuff. So all the stats have boons, which you can take, which do all sorts of different effects. And then there are also spells in the game, which also have different effects and things that you can do with them. Come on. Why is this not triggering? Okay, that was weird. That was kind of weird. But basically... Okay, it's an amulet of hunger. We do not want that. Amulet of hunger basically gives you the hunger effect, which will slowly remove one of our... Sorry, got my hammer that's over by the other place. It will slowly remove our food queue, which is the thing on the far left that I've explained before. It will remove one of those from the oldest thing that we have eaten. So it would remove the grumble on the very bottom after a certain amount of time, which we don't want happening. That may sound just kind of bad, and it is well, generally. You can use it to remove something you might not want if you want a certain buff. But, generally it's pretty bad until you have it realized, which happens at 8 intelligence. Once that happens, you will reveal the amulet, and it will gain a new power. The new power of the amulet of hunger, that sucks, that broke that, is that you can eat anything without consequences. So we could eat mushrooms and we would heal because they heal a bit, and then we wouldn't take any poison damage because although normally they're poisonous, oh, that's nice. Although normally they're poisonous, it will not go into effect because of the realized amulet of hunger. That can be pretty cool. Would also allow you to eat disease things, which is normally a problem, and stuff like that. Up, I accidentally threw that into the wall there.
On your feet.
There we go. Dealt with them pretty swiftly. Now we get the butcher meal effect for finishing off all of those grumbles and eating them. So now whenever we would eat one of their corpses or one of their bodies or something, we would gain some health if we were missing any, but we're not, so no reason to. We're going to keep this orange potion because it's almost definitely beneficial because the Grumbles had it on them. Potions from Grumbles are almost 100% of the time beneficial. Out of reach is kind of cool. Reach basically increases the range of the weapon through that purple streak that it has. Although it's hard to see because I have a red streak for some reason. Brutal Chainmail of Knowledge. This knowledge is an interesting thing that you can get on equipment, which basically increases its intel that it gives you by 2, but also decreases the luck it gives you. Well, decreases your luck in general by -2. That's personally not something I want to do right now because I picked this character for their luck, so I'm going to just stick with the Jacket of Heat. But if I was playing something like Tinker, which already has a bunch of luck, it's something I might consider.
Wonderful.
I think I will also take this Runic Jacket, which basically gives us 1 more energy, which is the bar below our health here, which could be pretty useful as well. And now we are going to check out what's in the bottom left of the map. Oh, it's Grumbles, okay. What just happened to them? Did anybody see that? They just got like ping-ponged halfway across the map. What just happened? Okay. Okay, they're back now. Alright, I've never seen that before. I guess I'll break this with this then. And fight them now. Grumbles swing so slowly. There we go. Is it a pause on it? Oh, it's a mallet of stopping out of reach. Well, I wish I didn't use it to break a boulder then. Breaking a boulder with a weapon heavily reduces its durability if you did not know. So now we have longsword, chainmail, and a shimmering amulet. I'm going to take that. This is an amulet of light. We can tell because our light range, if you look on the edge of our visible area, has increased. Basically, that's what it does until it's realized, so it's no use to us as someone with really low intelligence on this character. So, we are probably going to take this orb now because we have fully explored the level. I'm going to go into speed again because I want the further boons. We have Acrobatics or Mighty Stomp. Mighty Stomp allows us to perform a powerful slam on the ground, on the air. Personally not my favorite, because Acrobatics is ridiculously strong and fun. But you are welcome to take whatever you want. Acrobatics allows us to dodge in midair, and we can hold jump to fall off of foes, which is also very fun. So now, we can dodge in midair. And it doesn't say it, but it also auto-dodges while we are in midair. So if an enemy tries to hit us while we're midair, we just evade it, which is, as you can imagine, very strong. So we are going to sprint and move our way this way. And we are going to leave with our black pepper and the warm potion that we have, which is most definitely either health or regen. Because it came off of a Grumble, and health and regen are both potion types which are warm. Health just heals you for 5 at max, and regen heals you for 1 every second or so, and can regenerate limbs when you lose them and stuff. There we go. They swing so late. Okay. We use the bow to take out that one, and we go back to our mallet. So, now we have a Crimson Potion, and we have this potion as well, and both are beneficial. So we probably have both of those potions I was talking about now. Probably. Or one of these is might. This one was might. So now, I'm going to take this potion, or this bottle, that is now empty because we drank the potion, and I'm going to bottle that pepper so we can continue on with it. And you might be asking, why the heck are you so interested in this pepper? Meal buffs are very fun, interesting, and have a lot of neat little things that you can do with them. Because meals themselves are buffed when you pepper them. I will try to show off how you can maximize your use of peppered meals and some things that you can do with them. I'm going to try to, not the shield, to basically make a bat soup with 3 bats in it, and I'll explain soup mechanics and how they work. And then I am going to add the pepper to that so that it applies to all 3 bats in the meal type, because it only applies to what you've applied the pepper to, and pepper only has 2 charges that you can use. So you only need to apply pepper to 3 things in a meal in order for it to have to impart its buff. So, okay, let me grab something to depress onto those. There we go. So dodge that one. Place this one down, move back. And now we are going to do the same thing with the other one. See, some things get crushed by the crusher traps, but not all things. Bones, for example, just get flat out crushed and they will be destroyed. Torches, for some reason, don't. Which can be very important information to know. So, you can also go up this way. And then we can go here. Dodge that one. Put this down to neutralize that pressure plate. Now we can walk here. Now we can talk to the ghost, which is where you can spend some of your learning points. You can learn weapon skills, which allow you to do certain attacks that are cool or better in some way than normally attacking through certain button inputs. And then, but only on the weapon that they are specifically assigned to. And then you can also upgrade your power and get certain positive traits that you can spawn with normally. Here we are going to get Bruiser. It's the first level up. Oh, each class ability can level up to 3. So it starts at 1, and then you can become a Bruiser. In this example, when you're a bully, Taunt Stun lasts longer, Taunt weakens foes now, so they do 50% less damage, and enemies die at 2 HP. Then you can get Killer, which is a chance to decapitate foes, and raise all your weapon skills. So now we raise all our weapon skills besides spears, because we hate spears. And we can't use spears at all. And you can't remove that. Like, hating a weapon is a permanent thing. You cannot remove that. So now we're also going to get Poise, which nullifies knockback, and we use items slightly faster. So, now,
there's someone there.
On your feet.
oh dang, they attacked faster than I was expecting there. So, that hit did 2 damage to us, which will perfectly align with, hopefully, me being able to show one of the main ways that you heal in Catacomb Kids, which I think is a problem a lot of newer players have. They're not really sure how they heal themselves. So, if you have a heat source, like this pool of lava here, although you won't always have lava spawn on the floor, especially early on in the first floor, so I'm going to show how you generally end up doing it. Once this thing... Oh wait, I can... Oh, don't want to go through there. This is a path to the shortcut, which can lead to a further zone, but I'm not doing that because I have no reason to. So, what we do here is this is a brazier, which is a heat source, and if you knock it over, you can heat something on the ground, but you need to make sure you move out of the fire very quickly, otherwise you will burn and it can result in a lot of deaths, especially if you're low health trying to get healing. So whenever you heat a goo ball, though, is the essence of what I'm trying to teach here, you can increase, or you can heal yourself for 3, generally. 3, and we only healed for 2 there because we, well, 1, we have Butcher, which reduces all of our healing sources by 1, and we also, what else? Oh, and we also we only had 2 HP missing, so it can't heal us for more than that. Oh, snap, that's not good. Okay, so here I froze myself, so I need to spam some stuff and hopefully get out of this before I die. Okay, we're good. So, that just happened. And next, we are going to grab this orb, which also heals us. The orb heals you for how much luck you have. So that's something to keep in mind, is that it'll always heal you for how much luck you have. So, the orb is also a healing source that you have at your disposal. Next, we're going to go into defense, because disarm foes when your weapons clash or upon critical hits. The taunt attack and that thing, and also whenever you have a green streak, you'll do a crit. That also counts, like this green streak that I have. This has nothing to do with the taunt, though. Whenever I do one of those taunt hit attacks with the power orbs, or whenever I have this green streak, my hit will disarm the foe now. But normally it's just a crit, so it does higher damage. But now we crit upon we disarm enemies upon those hits, which is very useful and good. So, now, I'm going to use a lot of complicated knowledge to remove one of my legs and turn it into a spike. Which you might be like, wait, that's quite a pivot from what you were just talking about. But, so, we are going to break one of these pressure traps, which is, we'll break the other one. The other one will be easier to break. Sort of. So first, we need to get another item to depress the pressure plate down. At least a couple of times. So we'll grab this, and we'll grab this. Now, we need to break this chain. Now, this counts as a boulder, technically. When we knock that onto those spikes, wow, that almost got me. I'm also going to grab Resourceful while I'm here, because I like Resourceful. Heals heal for 1 more, and Potions last longer. So, now we grab these spikes, and these spikes deal 2 damage when thrown, and they stick into the enemy, but something else they do is they also can act as a replacement limb when it comes to legs. So one of the things we're going to do here, we are going to walk into this blade trap intentionally, which does 4 damage. When we do so, we're going to remove, hopefully, one of our limbs being leg, but it can be an arm, which would really suck. Hopefully it's our leg. Okay, well that's fine. Now, we're going to focus on healing ourselves on this floor, because that sucks. Now this could either be health, or it could be regen. Oh, I don't have my weapon hand. That sucks as well. I need that. Don't grab my leg, please. Thank you. Okay, the bats are taken care of, so that's one less thing we need to worry about. And then, This Grumble Corpse is run, so we can't use that for healing, even though we have Butcher. Now this is risky, and I would not recommend doing this, especially when you're new to this game. But holy crap, that's one of the best shields I've ever seen. Mirrored reflects projectiles, and Spike deals damage on bashes. And Tower Shield means the much larger shield, which covers more area. So spells have a harder time hitting you without getting reflected. And then on top of that, towered shields also just have better defensive capabilities than normal shields. So that's really sick. If I could somehow get that. Okay, they're already dead. Grumbles and skeletons don't like each other. It's a fun fact. Oh, okay. Wow. I got messed up by that slime. We hate spears, so we can't even hold that. We eat this, we heal for 1. Now... Okay, that happened because one of the Grumbles must have hit the switch.
On your feet.
Decapitate them. Kill these bats that'll spawn here. And now, we're going to eat this severed head, which apparently doesn't heal us, but that's fine. We're going to eat this Grumble. We're going to eat this bat.
Fulfilling.
And we've eaten enough meal buffs in order to heal ourselves. So, now we're back to full health, and we're going to try again. Yeah, we're that crazy. We're going to go back to that thing and try to dismember our one limb. So, here we go. Back to there. Very careful with the spikes that's there. Oh, there's more down here as well. Okay, we're going to use those Grumbles for healing if this does not pan out. Because we could just take no damage as it tries to sever our other limb, or... Okay, we need to be very careful of that boulder that's decided to fall into here. So I'm going to wait for that. Okay. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to try to sever one of my limbs. Actually, not that side, because that side has... So something I don't like seeing. Which is that spike thing there, so... Leg severed. Perfect. Now, we're not going to attach this right away, but you can see it says force into stump. The problem is that will do 2 damage to us, so we're not going to do that right away. Instead, we're going to drink this, and then we're going to force it into the stump. This was mana. The entire time this was mana. Okay, that's really bad. Because that doesn't heal us for crap, so... We're going to be going up here, and hopefully none of that is rotted too much for us to heal ourselves there. Oh my god, I almost messed that up. Okay. Rolling becomes kind of a 50-50 gamble when you're missing a leg, by the way. So, be very careful. And that's rotten already. That's fun. Okay. Blue potion that we've never seen before. Could be health, could not be. Okay, that did nothing for us. So we're going to take this potion. It was flames. Drop a corpse. Sweet. We have attained 2 health. We are doing well. Now that I've turned my kid into some version of some pun about half being alright, we are going to do some fighting, and we are definitely going to be using some potions to help us so that we do not die further. So, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab the other ice potion, and we're going to use these to make a very safe fight for ourselves here. So,
on your feet.
Do I see you?
there we go.
Oh, delicious.
Perfect. Now we're full health again. So now, Put the spike in there, it does 2 damage, and now one of our legs is a spike leg. Now, the good news, and the nice thing about that, is that a spike leg means that we've increased our stomp damage, so when we land on something's head, we've increased that damage by 1, for as long as we have this leg, and if we took Stampede, which we didn't, we would also do 1 more damage when we sprint through stuff. So, that's the benefits of doing that. I like to also do it because it's fun. Have to come up with these overly complex and in a lot of ways useless ideas. Well, not useless, but it's a lot of effort. Let's put it that way. Eat this. Heal for 1 more.
Presents. Oh, good.
Why not? We'll go with the Runic Chainmail of Heat, and we'll also switch off to this Brutal Rapier of Heat. And I think I'll actually switch back to a jacket. And I'll switch back to this, I think. And a jacket. This. I'm very decisive. Alright, let's get out of here now. The one part that sucks about this is now we are missing an arm, which really sucks because we ended up getting a very, very strong shield. So strong, in fact, that I'm going to take it over having a weapon instead. Which I would argue is not the right play, but it's the play we're making. So, I'm going to go over here, go up here. Missed the mark completely. I tried to sprint in a way that I could have ran up the wall on the left, but instead I have to wait through this. Why am I going this way? This is not the right way. Holy crap, that's a long way from the right way. So, after all that time, we walk out of this floor 1 arm less, 1 leg a little spikier, and a really nice shield to our name.
On your feet.
There we go. Oh, that's really tough too. But we've made the decision we've made. So, now we're going through the next floor. And hopefully not getting too messed up here. So yeah, we do 2 stomp damage. 1 is because we have boots, and 1 is because we have the spike.
On your feet.
What?
On your feet.
Where are they going?
On your feet.
Buddy, there's a wall between us here. Yeah, he's getting a little...
On your feet.
Oh, shit. They outplayed me there. Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, that was scary. Luckily, we've got our orb to heal with, and we've got a lot of luck. Okay, so now, now it's kind of tough. I think I'm going to be going with strength, because I want heavy lifting or pounce so I can deal damage a little more reliably. Heavy lifting could be very cool. I think I'll go with heavy lifting. Pounce would probably be the safer choice in this situation, but I have a certain build I have in mind, and something I want to show off. So heavy lifting allows us to carry the skeleton completely effortlessly. Normally its heavy body would slow us down, but because we have heavy lifting, it doesn't. Oh, I can't even hold the thing in that at the same time. I see. Okay, so that's a spell shop. So you've probably been seeing the words on the walls. Basically, we input that here, and we will get access to a shop. There are different types of shops, and that little sign next to it lets us know what type it is. So that one's a spell shop, so we can get a free spell from there without needing a learning point. And they also sell books and stuff, but that will still require a leveling point, or a thing.
On your feet.
Good thing, very good thing about Bully is that they have that min damage. Without that, this would be a lot harder. Because we also know Dagger Kick, that is a skill that you can use while unarmored. And we can even kick with our little spike there. It's hard to see because it happens so fast, but we are actually not that lacking in the offense despite not having a weapon.
On your feet.
Stomp damage coming in quite nicely. Something else that heavy lifting allows you to do is pick up enemies and throw them. Like so. Even at other enemies. So we're gonna eat this.
Oh, delicious.
It was a balanced meal, so it would have given us one overheal, but we were not at full health, so it didn't. Brittle jacket, and they had on them an infernal good chainmail, and I would like that. Because infernal has a much higher chance than normal to proc the flames, and then on top of that, a lot of defense is nice right about now. Oh snap. We stomped on their head, sent them right back into the lava. Ooh, and here we get spiked shoes, which will increase our stomp damage by another 1. So now we do 3 damage stomps, which is pretty nice. And here is a potential soul chest, which takes corpses and makes it into really nice items for us, potentially. Or I could miss it, but that miss taught me an important thing, which was that there was a teleport trap right next to it, which had a destination that was here. So
On your feet. On your feet.
holy crap, that thing did 3 damage to me in 1 hit. What? Alright, let's not mess with that then.
Oh, good.
Let's at least drink this. I'm a little scared of that. I'm gonna eat this mushroom, which poison does 1 damage, but it doesn't matter because we have might right now, and might can reduce damage to below 0. So we heal the full effectively, or we heal without needing to worry about the damage on top of that. And we'll also make a soup so that even if we get marked even more from this, we can still heal. Did I explain soup? Well, hopefully it was obvious there if I didn't, but you can add an item to a bottle if it's a food type. In that bottle you can then add water to it, and when you heat it, if it's a food type item that can be souped, it'll turn into soup after a little while. Any heat will do as well. You can also knock over a brazier to do it. Come on. There we go. And we'll grab our pepper now as well. Then we have our bottle of bland mushroom soup, which I will eat. And then I also don't like that meal cue that we have, because that's nothing that we can make into something cool. So I'm going to drink some water, which will reset the food queue. Or refresh it, in other words. That it, I think, would prefer you to be used. So our soul chest now has that eye type. So here there's a learning point, but it's in a spike pit. Something that I will try to show off is that with Bully,
On your
if you
feet.
taunt at the right time, you can avoid spike damage. Uh-oh. Whew. Dang, this is a little scary.
On your feet.
Oh god. These green-eyed bats are particularly scary. Okay, I managed to grab it midair. Okay, there we go. Might not look scary, but the green-eyed bats can hit you for 3 on a crit, which is pretty scary. Right here, I'm trying to stand next to the last red little cave so that it spawns some bats. It's not doing it. So I'm going to
On your
jump
feet.
down here and do the taunt so it does it. Okay, we did it. That was a lot of very risky stuff and more input intensive, but that is all stuff that you can do that is very cool. You can also, if you want, you can throw down a... Sorry. You can throw down a body, and you can stand on bodies when they're on spikes. As long as there's nothing underneath them, besides the spikes, of course. Now, we don't need to get this to Green Eyes, which is the final rank here, because we have a pipe, so we can send it down to a further floor and then reap its rewards later, which is also a very lucky thing. But I think we actually have enough to get this done and over with this floor right here, so I think we will do that. Maybe we don't. I don't think we do, actually. So, we'll send this down a floor or 2, and then we will see what we get there. So, that is all the way over there. Now, this might seem like a lot, but soul chests give some of the best loot in the entire game. So, when we get to floor 6, we will be trying to see what we can get from there. It's a shame it's not on the next floor, but the floor after that, because we will probably be fighting one of the mini-bosses by that point. And they are kind of scary, so... Something I should have been doing while doing this. I know it's arrogant, obsidian, and we'll figure out the other word when we get to it, but we are going to enter the shop now and see what they have to sell. There's arrogant, something like that. Obsidian, shatters. So, we go here. Pretty sure I already piped it. Then we go look for the keywords. We've got obsidian bat, shatters, argent monolith. So, or argent. We check to make sure we have everything we wanted to leave this floor with, and we go through. Now, I probably should have grabbed a mushroom in hindsight, because that would have allowed us to kill the shopkeeper, and they might have stuff that we want. So,
Hello there.
They have push, they have plague, they have temporal step, and they have frostbolt. We are going to grab push, because push is a very fun spell and it's a very nice spell. I like push. So, we're going to grab push.
Hello there.
And then, then we are going to grab
Much
Magic
obliged.
Emotion, and we're going to try a very unconventional kill on the shopkeeper. I might die here. If so, so be it. So we're going to do that. And then the plan begins. After I grab this charge
Welcome.
star, which I also need in order
Thanks.
to kill them. Because I need something that will not break. So, wait a couple seconds. Do that. Hopefully they'll come over here once they catch on fire. I'm gonna set that up.
On your feet.
We're gonna taunt them. And hopefully that'll kill them in enough time. Yep. So, basically, Portal is exactly how you would expect. I know this is a bit loud. Okay, there we go. It created a feedback loop of where the inertia from falling kept it going until it gained up speed. And as the shopkeeper came through to that location, the shopkeeper ended up in that position, and they were getting stuck in a hit stun from the object in that place. And it slowly killed them to death. So, pretty sick kill, I'd have to say. And now, we can take their key and see what they have downstairs. If we wanted to, we could also loot that shop. I also had boost shoes, which we will not need. But that's how you turn a shopkeeper to paste with Portal. Let's see what's in here. Okay.
I see you.
Okay, that was actually a little scary. More scary than the shopkeeper, which is not at all normal. Stylish jacket. Nah, I'm still good with that. And that's where you get the key to further pursue pursue? I don't think that's right. But look over their wares. But yeah, I think that was pretty good. Very good demonstration of how to use Portal. Or one way of how to use Portal anyway. Oh, okay, that works too. So, I'm going to do another thing here, which is heal using that bat. Which healed me for a lot more than I would have expected it to. It might have something to do with resourceful. I don't think I was on the end of a meal buff, although I might have been. Set that thing on fire, so that green bat is not a problem. Oh god. That is one precarious chest. Okay, thanks for that. Second time it was even more helpful. Okay, there's a fellow there as well.
On your feet.
There's someone there.
Wow, that doesn't heal you. That's kind of annoying.
Fulfilling.
Okay, smooth axe. Oh, okay. Not yet, I guess. So this device is unique to floor 5, and on floor 5 we then fight the Grumble Tank as an optional boss if we open the door with it. Which, I don't know if I should fight it. The answer is probably no to that, but you know. We'll see how this goes, basically, because I'm gonna fight it, even though I definitely shouldn't fight it right now. Definitely shouldn't fight it unless I somehow get an arm and a weapon in that amount of time. I really shouldn't fight it. Like, really shouldn't, but I'm going to, because I like to. So, we're going to grab another strength boon, and we're going to grab grapple.
How beautiful. On your feet. On your feet. On your feet. On your feet. On your feet.
There we go. Never fight fair if you don't need to. How the hell did their weapon get damaged? Why were they hidden with their weapon? Let them fight amongst each other. Dang. You didn't have to do anything. So, oh, that's a rending enemy. I'd like to not get hit by that. Oh yeah, heavy lifting also allows you to pick up boulders, which you can then throw. So, that's also a cool thing you can do with heavy lifting. Heavy lifting's very fun. No, not right now, rat. Rat, no. Bad rat. Sorry, rat. Okay, device opens this as long as you have min of 3 intel. We have 2, but our one thing gives us just enough. And now we are just scared and looking for the boss. Or...
On your feet.
Dang, I got messed up. Runic robe of empathy. I think I would not. I would not want that. I wonder if I can, like, kill them by doing this. No, it does not seem like it. Might be able to get myself out of here by doing that, though. A little fish. Just occasionally ending up in the portal. Constantly getting startled by the skull. Okay. Oh wait. I can do that. Oh, that was not what I meant to do, but alright. Can also do this. Come on. There we go. No, thank you. Okay. Now this is where things will get very tricky. We're going to finish exploring a little bit in the one place, but yeah, things are gonna get rough. There will probably be multiple times where we put down our shield in order to... Oh yeah, that's why I didn't explore here. Yeah, no thanks. There will probably be multiple times where we decide to drop our weapon because we need to, or drop our shield because we need to in order to pick up a weapon to safely attack the grumble tank, but we'll see. I'm also going to pick up Ice Bolt, so I have some sort of magical attack, and we're going to put Portal on D and then that on S. So here we go. So we're going to take the device in, and when we throw the device at the grumble tank, it'll shock it, and they take like bonus damage to it. And I forgot to bring my pepper with me, but it's fine. Oh god, I got shocked too. Okay, I didn't instantly die. That's pretty good, I'd say, anyway. Hey, that's actually a pretty good start there, I'd say. Our focus right now is to get rid of the ballista because it's a huge source of all of its damage. Ah, crap, that hit me.
On your feet.
Oh gosh, I have a fear that that will not get reflected. Okay, 1 health now. Okay, that's taken care of now. So, now all we need to do is freaking live, like, a lot. Which is easier said than done, but here we are. Oh, okay. Okay, they're dead now. Oh my god, that sucks so much. Okay, so what happened there was right where I'm standing, unbeknownst to me, a platform got frozen, and platforms can have icicles like drop off of them, and one of those icicles did 1 damage to me, which is all the damage they do, and it killed me. Right as the grumble tank got their little boulder thing stuck in a spot, and now it would have been stuck there because it can't pull it in on its own. So I would have been able to kill it too. But, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. But I think a cool run that showcases some of the more fun and interesting things that you can do in Catacomb Kids. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again.